marble floor of my bedroom felt cold against my cheek. I couldn't move my right leg without screaming, couldn't think past the white-hot agony radiating from my shin. Marcus stood over me, his chest heaving, knuckles still clenched. Behind him, she cowered Nicole, his secretary, his mistress, the woman who'd been sleeping in my bed while I was visiting my sick mother. Asterisk, you shouldn't have touched her. Sophia, Marcus said, his voice eerily calm now. You've brought this on yourself. Asterisk, 45 minutes earlier, I had come home early from the hospital. Mom's condition had stabilized, and I'd wanted to surprise my husband with his favorite dinner. Instead, I found them in our living room, her legs draped over his lap, drinking the wine from our wedding cellar. Asterisk, the slap had been instinctive. When Nicole smirked at me, actually smirked, said, "Oh, you're back early." My hand connected with her face before I could think. The crack echoed through our penthouse. Asterisk, then Marcus moved. Not to comfort me, not to apologize. He grabbed my arm, twisted it behind my back, and when I struggled, he swept my legs out from under me. I heard the snap before I felt it sound like a dry branch breaking. Then came the pain. Asterisk, Marcus, I gasped, tears streaming. Please, ... hospital, ... Asterisk, he crouched down, his face inches from mine. You need to learn your place. Nicole is important to me. You're just, he gestured, vaguely, convenient. Your father's money was useful for the business, but I don't need it anymore. Asterisk, through my agony, understanding crystallized. The offshore accounts, the new company structure, the life insurance policy he'd insisted I sign last month. Marcus wasn't just having an affair, he'd been planning to replace me entirely. Asterisk, my phone, I whispered. Let me call for help. Asterisk. Nicole laughed, a tinkling sound that made my stomach turn. Marcus, baby, we should just leave her. She'll call someone eventually. Asterisk, but Marcus's eyes narrowed. He picked up my phone from where it had fallen, scrolled through it. She hasn't told anyone she's here. Her father thinks she's still at the hospital. He looked at Nicole. Get the pills from the bathroom. The sleeping ones. Asterisk, ice flooded my veins. No, Marcus. Please, asterisk, he said, almost tenderly. It'll look like you were depressed about your mother. Took too many pills. Fell, maybe, and broke your leg in the process. These things happen. Asterisk, but Marcus had underestimated one thing. The phone in his hand wasn't my only phone. Asterisk, when my father gave me a second phone 3 years ago, small device he made me promise to keep charged and hidden. I thought he was being paranoid. Old habits from the old country, he'd said in his thick Georgian accent. You keep this. You ever in real trouble, you press the red button. You don't call, just press. I find you. Asterisk. I'd humored him, keeping it in a hidden pocket of my purse, which had fallen near the bedroom door when Marcus threw me. Asterisk, Nicole returned with a bottle of Ambien. Marcus pulled me up roughly, my broken leg dragging uselessly. I screamed. He clamped a hand over my mouth. Asterisk, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Asterisk, while he forced my mouth open, while Nicole crushed pills with the base of a wine bottle. I stretched toward my purse with my free hand. My fingers found the zipper of the hidden pocket, found the small device, found the button. I pressed it. Marcus poured water mixed with dissolved pills toward my clenched teeth. Some got through. The world started fuzzing at the edges, but I'd pressed the button. Dad would come. He would. Everything went black. I woke to chaos. Asterisk, men's voices, shouting in Georgian and English. Gunshots, no, not gunshots, but the sharp crack of breaking wood. My bedroom door hung off its hinges. My father knelt beside me, his weathered face twisted in fury I'd never seen before. Asterisk, Sophia, my girl, stay awake. Ambulance coming. Asterisk behind him. For men I vaguely recognized from his import business had Marcus and Nicole on their knees. Marcus's face was already swelling, blood streaming from his nose. Nicole was sobbing hysterically. Papa, I mumbled through the drug haze. He tried to kill me, for her, for the money. My father's hand, gentle on my forehead, trembled. He stood slowly, and when he spoke, his voice carried the weight of the man he'd been before immigrating to America before. He'd built his empire through means I'd never asked about too closely. You broke my daughter's leg. It wasn't a question. Marcus whimpered. You tried to poison her, to kill her for your whore and her money. Mr. Melkatsa, please, I can explain. My father held up one hand. The room fell silent, except for Nicole's crying. You know what I'd do, boy? Before I come here. In Georgia, I was a very different man. I leave that behind, for Sophia, to give her a good life, clean life. He circled them like a predator. But you bring that man back? Steris. He pulled out his phone, made a call, spoke rapidly in Georgian. Then he turned to me with surprising gentleness. Close your eyes, Pico, little bird. What happens next? You don't see. Papa, ... My head was so heavy, the drugs pulling me down, but I managed to whisper the words I knew would seal their fate. Leave no survivors in that house. His eyes glistened. You hear that? He said to Marcus, my kind daughter. She'll say, leave no survivors. So that is what we do. The last thing I remember before the paramedics arrived was my father's voice. Cold and final. Take them to the warehouse. All of them who knew about this. Anyone in this house who helped, who stayed quiet. No survivors. My daughter has spoken. 2 weeks later, I woke in a hospital bed, my leg in a cast, my father asleep in the chair beside me. The news played quietly on the TV. Tragic gas leak claims 3 lives in luxury penthouse. Marcus, Nicole, and Marcus's brother, who'd apparently been helping forge the insurance documents say, gas leak, convenient, clean. The kind of accident that raises few questions when the right people are paid. I never asked my father what really happened in that warehouse. Some doors, once closed, just stay that way. But I learned something important. There are men who wear suits and smile for business deals. And then there are men who keep promises made in blood. My father was both, and I was my father's daughter. When the detective came to question me about Marcus's death, I cried prettily and said I'd been at the hospital during the accident. Medical records confirmed that I'd been admitted right before the explosion. Perfect timing. Inheritance came through 6 months later. Everything Marcus owned was now mine. The business, the properties, the accounts he'd hidden. My father's lawyers were very thorough. I visit my father every Sunday now. We have tea. We don't talk about that night. But sometimes, when he kisses my forehead goodbye, he whispers in Georgian, no one hurts my girl. No one. And I whisper back, no survivors, Papa, just like I said. Some legacies are written in ink, others in blood. And sometimes, love means knowing exactly how far someone will go to protect you on being your father's daughter when it matters most.